Hi, my name is Isabella, and I am 18. Here is my story. I live out in the country. Lots of farms, dirt roads, and boredom as a kid. It was wintertime, and I was 11. It had snowed a lot that day. Like, a lot. And I remember the snow came up past my knees. I had waited for a dog my entire life. And there he was, sitting under my porch, trying to seek cover from the snow. I admired him through my window. A beautiful golden retriever. He looked young, maybe a year old. I opened my front door slowly to greet him, and he ran off into the distance. It took a few weeks before he came close enough to where I could finally pet him. You could tell he had been mistreated and did not trust people. He had no collar. I like to think he was looking for me. We began building up trust each day. I wanted nothing more than to give him a big hug, but we went at his pace. I would put out food each evening near our barn and would watch from a distance. He ate very quickly and would run off into the sunset. I took small steps until I knew, without a doubt, that I could see in his stunning eyes that he trusted me. He was special. We sat there quietly on the steps of my front porch on that clear winter night as I was planning out our future together. I named him Finn. This dog was intelligent. More than that, he was kind, sweet, and loyal. I can't tell you how much I loved him. Within a few weeks of having him, he started walking me to the bus stop, down at the end of our road. A couple days later, he started picking me up too. Finn loved bringing us presents, and would set them right in front of the door. Here are some of the weirdest things he brought. A pair of shorts, a tackle box with fishing gear inside, a frozen chicken still in the package. I'll always wonder where he got that in the middle of the summer. And a chewed-up American Girl doll. One of his dog friends lived over on the other side of the neighborhood. She was a collie and had lots of energy. Her name was Bailey. They would run together and hang out, and nap sometimes while I was at school. He was a free spirit, and we let him roam around the neighborhood during the day. One evening, about a year after we got him, he wasn't home. He didn't come when I whistled or called, which he always did. I rode my bike around, looking for him. In front of Bailey's house, I saw him in the middle of the street barking. He came running at me full speed, barking, wanting me to follow. He led me down the road to Bailey, who was injured. She'd been hit by a car. Finn wouldn't leave her until she was moved and out of harm. Thankfully, she fully recovered. Finn and I spent so many hours together. We laughed together, we cried together. He listened to all my problems. He knew all about my crushes, the fights that I had with my parents, and how I liked to sing along to music in my room. All he asked for in return was a few belly rubs and some love. Another time, he saved me. One day, we took a walk in his favorite park by our house. But this time was different. He refused to go farther ahead down the trail we were walking on. I tried to call him, but he just sat and kept barking at me. So I said, "Finn, if you don't follow me, I'm going to keep walking, boy." I got about 100 feet away, and he still kept barking. Suddenly, I heard him running toward me. Then I felt him grab onto the bottom of my pants, and he tried to pull my leg in the other direction. He would not let me take another step. I thought it was weird, but figured he wasn't in the mood to go for a walk that day. We went back towards the entrance, but he stopped every 30 seconds or so to look behind us. That whole incident at the park didn't make sense until the new morning. I was on my way out of the house before school, and overheard my parents talking about a giant bear that was spotted around that same park the day before. So now, I realized that Finn wasn't being stubborn the day before, and he must have either seen or sensed that we were in danger. My sweet Finn was trying to protect me. It was several years later, toward the end of my junior year, when I made the biggest mistake of my life. It was after lunchtime, and I was in my math class, when I got a text from my mom that said, "Come home, right after school." I got a little bit concerned and asked if there was something wrong. And she said, "Just come home, we need to talk." The next few hours seemed to stand still until I got off the bus. My dad's truck was in the driveway. I thought to myself, he's never home during the day. And I really started to worry. I walked inside my house and saw my parents sitting around my kitchen table. I said anxiously, "Dad, what happened?" He said, "Honey, it's Finn. I'm so sorry. He's been hit by a car." My mom said, "Baby, I don't think he felt any pain. I found Finn on the side of the road with Bailey, who was right beside him." My whole world came crashing down. I always let Finn out in the morning, and it was my job to put him back in before I left for the day. He was getting older, and his vision wasn't so good anymore. My parents wanted him to stay inside when we weren't home. That was my biggest regret of my life. I didn't bring Finn in that day before I left for school. He was my best friend, and I feel like a piece of me is gone. I had his ashes made into a diamond that I wear around my neck, so he's always close to my heart. I love you, Finn. Want to send us your story and go down in Storymation Nation history? Please click on the link in the description.